Good morning. Today is Wednesday, August 23rd, 2023. My name is Joan, aka Joni, if you love me, and this is the Rants and Raves morning show. The Rants and Raves morning show is my daily morning show where I discuss all the random things that are running through my brain as I get ready for work. and I will cover anything from politics to social issues, economics, culture, clothes, just anything at all. I was having a conversation with myself yesterday about how realistic it would be for me to continue to do this for more than a month. And I had to speak positivity back to myself because I was kind of like, girl, I don't even know if I can do this for a week. But nevertheless, a month. But I think that a part of also being intentional and being disciplined about what you want to do and what it is that you want in this life is that you're repeating the actual success to yourself instead of just thinking about the potential failures, which is something that as a perfectionist, I kind of think about the failures. I think about how it could go well, and then I just leave myself a little paralyzed. This is not my therapy session. So, I backtracked and I was like, you know what? I can definitely do this for a month. I can definitely do this for 2 months. I can do this for 3 months. I'm going to stick to the month and then reassess at the end of the month just to see okay, does a daily thing actually work out? Should I do this bi-weekly? We'll figure it out together. But I think having the month to be consistent, having the month to have content that I'm putting out there and being really intentional about what I'm saying, what I'm doing, I think will give me the practice that I do need. So I think we're going to stick with it for a month. Overall, welcome to the morning show. We are going to go ahead and get started with a few of the things that I've been thinking about. Today's show is going to be really short because, one, I am crazily late to work. I don't really have to be there at a certain time, though, so I don't know what I'm talking about. It's just my goal was to be in the office a little bit earlier today, and that didn't happen for me. The main reason is it's a beautiful day. If it's a beautiful morning in London, if it's rainy and gloomy, I'll get there generally on time. If it's beautiful, I want to get my morning kicked off. My windows were open. I was making coffee. I want to listen to some podcasts. I want to have my daily dance party before I even think about going to an office to hang out with some people. You know what I'm saying? So I just finished my dance party, just finished getting dressed. I need to do my makeup. But before I do that, I'm going to run down my world recap. And I'm going to run down my random thought, which is about stashing your cash or getting more of it, period. Shout out to Sha'carri Richardson, Mrs. World Champion. Okay. Miss World Champion. Okay. You counted her out because of some teeny marijuana. Okay. She lost a couple times. I get it. She lost a couple times. Her confidence was shot. She's a young girl. But you know what she did do? She did become a world champion. She did beat Shelley Fraser Price. She did run 10.65, a championship record. That girl's going to break records in her lifetime. She's going to break records. And I'm so happy to see her come back. I'm so happy to see her come back. Because genuinely, I think people do have an issue with braggadocious women or men, to be honest, but especially if they're Black and they're super braggadocious and they're super in there being she doesn't change character for anybody. She is herself. And I love people who just are tapped into who they are, tapped into their talent, tapped into the fact that they are going to get this thing and no setback is going to hold her back. I'm so proud of her. I'm so proud of her. And I love an athlete who can talk shit. That's why Deion Sanders is my favorite. I love an athlete who can talk that talk. Okay? And who can back it up with not only performance, but the looks. I don't know. Her hair, I feel like she should have got her braids redone or something. I don't know. She had locks and then she had her cornrows. It was a lot going on. But whatever floats her boat. If she likes it, I love it. Um, Also, yesterday, this happened like on Monday, and I was watching the championships Monday. I didn't watch all of it yesterday, but yesterday, the first woman ever in the United States, the first woman ever won gold for discus. The first woman ever. Um, Her name is, please bear with me as I say this, Lauga. Lauga. Laugua Tasalgua Collins. That's her name. Yeah. And she won gold for discus. First American woman ever since the World Championships began. First black woman, I'm assuming, because even though her name is giving me indigenous vibes, she's brown. So I'm going to say first black woman, maybe first indigenous woman, who knows? But she's the first of many, the first of all the things. And I'm super proud to have been able to like been in the same environment as all these greats, you know, like it's really cool. It's really cool to be surrounded by like perfection, elite performance, because that's what I want to do for like personal life. Like when I see them perform, when I see these athletes just like putting their all out there, I'm like, my God, I want to compete. I want to compete in something. Like there's just this competitive edge that it just makes my heart warm, you know? And it really inspires me to be like, let me just go out there and even just like work out. Speaking of workouts, I am in a competition with my boyfriend about who can be in better shape before our trip to Mexico. I'm losing currently because I didn't take him seriously. But men lose weight, like the weight is gone. Gone. Day 2, they think about losing weight, it's gone. So I need to take him seriously. Anyways, that was a sidetrack. Shout out to Sha'carri. Shout out to, honestly, Sharika and Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price. They both did amazing. They were from Jamaica. This was Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price's first ever bronze medal, which is wild. Like, imagine being so good that you have never gotten third place. You're top 2, and usually not 2. This day, however, she was 3. Shout out to you, Sha'carri Richardson, for that win. I want y'all to ask me if ECOWAS ever invaded Niger yesterday. Ask me. Ask me. Did ECOWAS invade Niger? Is the president reinstated? Ask me. No. The answer is no. Just as we thought. What did happen is the African Union suspended Niger. But sometimes, like, and not to be disrespectful, because as an African, I want more for us, but suspending Niger from the African Union is like saying you don't want to be part of, I don't know, the UN. Okay, and there's no power there. There's nothing happening there. There's no actual moves being made, impact being seen. Sorry, UN, I understand. You have a great reputation. But to be honest, like until UN peacekeepers can actually do something, I don't know, keep the peace, because that sometimes requires force. Until UN peacekeepers can actually do something, I'm going to hold that stance. But yeah, Niger has been suspended from the African Union. This is all contingent on what happens with this coup. The leader of the coup, who's the leader of the presidential guard, has said that he is going to give up power in 3 years, and that we have 3 years basically to reinstate somebody. At the end of 3 years, they can instate a democratically elected president. I don't know. It's given a good plan. It's given good plan. I think that, time will tell. I think we need to have more conversations with this man. But the military leaders, you can tell, especially if you're part of the presidential guard, are just sick and tired of whatever the old president was doing, Bosamana, whatever his name is. Like, you can tell they're sick and tired. The only thing is we don't know what their intentions are, and that can be a little concerning because, how do we know you're not going to do the same thing? The things that they have done, like stop that pipeline. Speaking of stopping stuff for climate change, hopping over. Ecuador voted, I think 50-something% to not continue drilling in some areas of the rainforest. And so in the I cut off, but Ecuador is planning on not drill in some areas of the rainforest. The Niger coup leaders are canceling like pipeline projects. I just feel like, we don't know the intentions of these leaders by any means, but your people need to be sick and tired of you for there to be a coup. There needs to be like little to no affection in the country for you, for there to be a coup. Granted, what we do need to understand is, how do the people of Niger feel? Which is something that I haven't really looked into. I haven't looked into if the people of Niger wish that their president would be reinstated, or if they're glad that this not doing anything guy is out of office. How do I know? So I'm going to do some research. I'm going to see if the people of Niger are actually excited for him to be gone, or if they want him back. But regardless, the ECOWAS didn't invade. AU just suspended them. And right now, it's seeming like this coup is going to stand unless the Wagner Group gets involved, which is also still very likely. As I've been riding the train to work in the mornings, as I've been doing my commute, some of y'all have stopped covering your mouths. Some of y'all have started coughing from the deep pits of your stomach, deep in your lungs. They're blocked. Okay, some of y'all have started exhibiting early days of COVID-like behaviors. And all I'm going to say is there is a new strain on the scene. Because there's no mass testing, we can't figure out where it is and the impact of it. There's a new strain on the scene. They said it looks completely different to what the original strain looked like. It has evolved basically within the past 3 years. And all this to say, really short and sweet, start covering your mouth, your face again, mask it up. We're going to cold and flu season pretty soon. Guys, let's go ahead and start now, because the way people are starting to get sick and like, they're like, oh, it's just a cold, and they're like bedridden for days. The way these coughs are happening on the train and people are not covering their mouths like they were trained to as children. Cover your mask. Get your mask, cover your face. Because this winter is going to be an ill one, a sickly one. If you don't get your vitamin C immune booster. Yesterday, we briefly discussed Saudi Arabia money washing, their influence, and their crimes, basically. And it started to come out. A human rights group released a report that Saudi Arabia military has been gunning down people at the Yemen refugees and other refugees at their border. There have been mass graves that have been found, hundreds and hundreds of bodies. And if that's how much they've found or been able to take account for, there's obviously probably thousands. And we just see the rise and influence of really messed up people, messed up situations, messed up environments. And it's giving me a sense of like, who are going to be the people that fight against how can you fight against a power like that, right? Whenever the United States is considering establishing almost a NATO-like agreement with Saudi Arabia, so protections and basically alliance and allyship in this situation would just almost give credence to those opinions that the United States, all these other countries are not here to actually help anybody when they say they're coming in for these big time military saving sprees, like when they did in Afghanistan and all that stuff. It's like, you're not here to help anybody. All your motives are going to be ulterior. And that's what makes it so hard, because even in the situation, like back to West Africa, even in the situation in Niger, in the situation in Ghana, like my home country, where I wish we could get more investment. I wish we could get more like businesses and relationships with different countries, making it easier for us to travel, making it easier for us to have tourism, making it something that allows our country to thrive. It's so hard to trust that your person that you're making a deal with is honest. And in this situation, especially in Saudi Arabia, you know they're not honest, and countries are still making deals. Is it the money? And it had me thinking, like, if there was a guy that I knew who was a murderer, but he was fine and millionaire and was nice to me, but killed other people, would I still be with him? No. No. And I have to pick murderer. I can't even say, like, if it was a common thief, maybe. If it was like a gangbanger, probably. But a gangbanger might be a murderer. See, this is how I would stay. If I knew he was a gangbanger and I didn't know he was a murderer, I would still be with him. If I knew he was a murderer, I would have to leave. All that to say, the United States knows Saudi Arabia is a murderer. They don't think they just gangbangers. Now it's being confirmed that your new girlfriend, your new boyfriend is a murderer. And how are you going to act, United States? How are you going to act, United Kingdom? How are you going to act? Because the United States Bank, China, is under threat economically. They're not going to bounce back for a couple years. Our bank in the United States, I'm in the UK. The bank of the United States, which is China, is under pressure, which means the United States is under pressure, which means they need a new person, which means they're going to Saudi Arabia. Will the real ever win? Who knows? I doubt it. All right. The main thought on my brain has been money. So we know that we are facing a recession. If you look at the trend line, it's been an inverted line for some time now. And so, which means there's a recession on the horizon. I think the accuracy of that is 100%. It's never been wrong. So, we're seeing a lot of things happen in terms of like AI and also like exciting businesses basically come on the market or get investment. We're seeing governments say that, oh, there's nothing wrong. Like, don't worry about it. Don't pay attention. We are seeing a lot of lies when it comes to what the economic condition is globally. And so as I was going through my finances and as I've been getting ready for my budget next month, and also for my goals, my financial goals for next year, I'm realizing that if you do have large sums of money for next year, you're going to be able to like get a lot of things on discount. So I'm hoping to buy a house next year because the housing market's going to crash. And I'm hoping to get some land. I'm hoping to do a couple of things next year, waiting for this crash, basically. And I think that it can be kind of scary to think about the fact that our banking systems are like so fragile and there will be a recession and that people will be left basically out to dry because not everybody is planned well for this. But I think the key here is to remember that like these things have happened, they will happen, and it will continue to happen. Like there's nothing new under the sun. If you believe that what's happening to you is like unique to you, you're crazy. Like nothing under the sun is new. It's happened before, it will happen again. And so instead of being scared of these situations, I feel like we should embrace this. We should start looking for ways to capitalize, because capitalism isn't going anywhere. As much as I wish I was an anti-capitalist, as much as I wish we could all take a step back away from that, capitalism isn't going anywhere. And so we need to embrace the fact that like, this is where we're at. And what can you do to make the most of it? What can you do to create some wealth, create pockets of security and sustainability for you and your family? And so I've been thinking about that more, like how to monetize other areas of my life, how to get a good cash reserve, what to invest in as we're looking into next year and what things are not going to perform well. I just think the importance of not being fearful of these situations and these conversations, and the importance of just being prepared is it's unmatched. right? And I was dead serious in my rant that I did. It's not on YouTube, it's on Spotify. Last week, where I was like, I loved flying first class, and I don't plan on going back over there to economy. And I want to make sure that I have a good life. I want to make sure that I'm living in a very well provisioned life, but I'm being smart about it. And I think that comes in like hearing these rumors, hearing these things that are going on, and actually being actionable about them versus waiting for it to happen and then being reactive. Because if we stay in a reactive position, you will always be late to the party. It's about taking risk. It's about looking to see where there are opportunities. It's about making sure that you're asking the right questions and constantly learning, because we are in a situation where millionaires, wealth makers will be made in the next 10 years, new ones, not this old generational money thing, new ones. And if you have the opportunity, if you have the willpower, you should take advantage of that. I know I plan to. Littlefinger said it in Game of Thrones best. He said it best. Chaos is a ladder. Chaos is a ladder. Find that pocket of chaos, find an opportunity, create a solution, make some money, and secure yourself for what's on the horizon, because market conditions don't look good. We don't look like in a good, economically good place globally. I think everyone is talking about cost of living. Everyone is talking about cost of living. Everyone is talking about how hard they are performing, or how hard things are when it comes to trade. Everyone is talking about lack of a workforce, a properly trained one. Everyone is struggling in these areas. And with China's recession, deflation, and how hard their economy has been hit, and with these wars happening and springing up, and there's just a lot of conflict right now, a lot of conflict, and it's important that you shore yourself up. And so that was heavy, heavy, heavy on my heart. I'm not a trader in the sense of I'm not going to give you stock market tips. I'm not going to give you investment tips. Go find that. Do your research. Watch Earn Your Leisure, because they know everything at this point. But subscribe to some podcasts. Like I said, watch Earn Your Leisure, Market Mondays. Find a Discord group. Find people that you can learn from. Like, learn a skill, get a second business, something. I get it. We all feel like we should be living good lives without having to put this much work in. But it should be accessible, and it's not. It's not accessible. So now what? You're just going to sit there? No. Get up and go make some money. You're going to need it. All right, guys. I'm going to go do my makeup and head out for the office. This is Rants and Raves with Joni. Today is Wednesday, August 23rd. It's been short and sweet. I hope you've enjoyed it. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, share. Tell me what you think. I appreciate you rocking with me. Have a great, 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 great day. Let's get to it.